Hello guys, my name is Hardik Patel and I'm from batch April 2020. Today I'm gonna explain how I did my assignment number 3 which AP gave us last week. So to do that, first I created a new package and named it as assignment 3, and then I created a new class and named it as practice loop, and I'm gonna use main method to write the code in it. So the first question was given n, print this pattern up to 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So to do that, first of all, I use this code system.out.print which will appear on the console over here as please enter a number. So basically I'm asking user to input a number in there. So for the user to enter a number in Java, I have to use this code scanner which will enable user to input data in Java. So now user is gonna will input the number as I wrote over here, please enter a number. So it's gonna be integer data type. So to store that value, I created another bucket and named it as input number, and the data type of that bucket is integer. So and this user data dot next int, that's the value which user will input in it, and it will be stored in this input number bucket. So I'm just gonna enter number 21 and we'll see what it happens. Okay, so I need the pattern of 4, 8, 12, 16. So the common difference between the two number is 4. So my repeating value will be like 4. It will be in increasing 4. So it will be, first number will be like 0, then it will be increased by 4 which is 4, then 4 will be increased by another 4 which will be 8. So I used the loop method to do that, and I used the for loop. So to do that, I wrote this code for, since my data type is integer, so it's gonna be int. So this I, basically the numbers which it's gonna show, this I, the first I means like what's the first value from where the loop is gonna start. So the first value I'm gonna put it over here is 0. Now the second I which I have to define is like when this loop has to stop. So the second I wrote is less than or equal to the input number. So at that time the loop will stop. And this I over here is like what type of function I'm doing. So I'm just increasing by 4 and then printing it out. So I just wrote over here I is equal to I plus 4, and to print that out I wrote system.out.print, and since all these values will be stored in I, so I just wrote it down over here I. Okay, so I wrote 21 and then I'm just gonna press enter and see what happens. As you can see, it's been increasing by 4, so it's 0, then it's increased by 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Now 24 is 24 is greater than 21, so that does not satisfy my condition over here, so it stopped at 20. So I'm just gonna explain how it works. So first, when I is 0, it printed out 0. Now for the second step, it will store the I was 0, and then it will jump over here on this second I, and which we'll see. For the second step, for the first step, I is equal to 0 and it printed out I which is 0. Now for the second step, now the I is stored as 0, then it will go jump over here. Now 0 plus 4 is 4, and then it satisfied the condition, yeah, it's less than or equal to 21. So then it came back over here and printed it out, so I got 4 over here. Now for the third step, now my I is, instead of 0, it's 4. And then it will again go to this I and it will see 4 plus 4 is 8, which is less than or equal to 21. So it will go ahead and print out system.out.print, and since I got 4 plus 4 is 8, so I got 8 over here. So that's how I got 8, 12, 16 till 20. Now when 20 comes, the new I is over here 20. 20 plus 4 is 24, which is greater than 21, which is not less than 21. So my loop stopped and it didn't print out 24 over here. So that's the explanation of how this for loop works. So now the second question was the same thing. I had to print the loop, but it was in the pattern of 5 4 3 2 1 0, and I had to ask for the user to enter the number in it. So just not to confuse myself, I created another core. I created another package with assignment 3, and I named another class as practice loop 2. The same thing, I used the main method. First of all, I wrote system.out.print, which will basically in which I wrote please enter a number, which will tell user to enter the number. To enter the number for Java, for user to enter the number, I have to use scanner code. So I use the scanner code, which will enable Java for the user to input the number in there. Since the user is gonna enter number in it, it will be the integer type of data, so I stored it in the bucket called output number and named it, and the data type of that bucket was integer. Same thing as the previous one. And over here also I used the for loop, but slightly it is the initial value and the initial value and the final value are slightly changed because the pattern is also changed. It has to go like decrease 1 by 1, 5 4 3 2 1 0. So I'm just gonna run this code. It says please enter a number, so I'm just gonna enter 6 over here and then press enter, and you can see it went from 6 5 4 3 2 1 0. So it was the same. I used the same for loop, but over here, as since the difference between the two numbers is 1, and they are decreasing going backwards, so my first value over here, which I gave z, is equal to the output number, so which the user is gonna enter. So I enter 6 over here, so the first number initial value will be 6. Now when the loop, now I have to decide when the loop will end. So that's the second condition where the loop should end. So it should be greater than or equal to 0, and then it's, as it is decreasing by number, like it's decreasing by number 1, so my condition I put over here is z is equal to z minus 1. And all these values are of z, so I just wrote system.out.print z. So as you can see, my output number was 6, so it printed out 6 first. Now for the second step, our new number z, our initial value will be 6, and then 6 minus 1 is 5, which is greater than or equal to 0, so it printed out 5. Now our new value for z is 5. 5 minus 1 is 4, which satisfies this equation, z is greater than or equal to 0. Same way I went for 4 3 2 1, and when our value for z is 0, 0 minus 1 is -1, which is not equal to 0, and it's also greater than 0. So at that time my loop stopped and it did not print it -1 over here. So that's the explanation of how I did these two questions. Please let me know if I did any mistake or I did something wrong. That's it all for today. Thanks guys. Have a good day. Bye.